Hello guys, welcome to the channel Movies World Recaps. Today we're going to recap the movie named The Batman, Gotham. So let's get started. At the beginning of the movie, we see Halloween night, and that night the mayor of Gotham City is murdered. The name of the murderer was the Riddler, and this Riddler used to kill famous people in Gotham City. And the great thing about this killer is that it leaves a clue to whoever it kills, and this time it does the same after killing the mayor. The next day, when the police arrived to investigate, they found a card that read, "Haven't find a clue, let's play a game, just me and you." And with him some code words and clues, and the most interesting thing is that these were not for anyone else, but for Batman. And that killer always left clues for Batman, who he was going to kill next. Killer wants to make it known through the clue that if Batman wants to save whoever killer kills next, then save him. Batman and the police work together to figure out the killer's next target, but when the police and Batman work out the man's address, the Riddler arrives and kills him before they can get there. In the next scene, we realize that it was the Riddler's plan, because he didn't even know the man's address, which he had been foiled by Batman and the police. At the beginning of the movie, when we see the death of the mayor of Gotham City, the Riddler cut off one of the mayor's fingers because the mayor was such a bad person, and all of this involved a friend of the mayor's who was at the bar. Then Batman and the police find a pen drive. When they open it, there is a picture of the mayor and the girl Annika, and they are getting out of the iceberg. A good thing happened while they were watching the video, that the video automatically became public, and the whole of Gotham City got to know that their mayor was a bad person. We then see Batman himself go to the iceberg, and the people there try to stop him. Batman was fighting with them alone when the head came there and said, "What are you doing here?" Batman then shows Annika's picture, the picture he saw in the video with the mayor. But the head of the iceberg doesn't tell anything to Batman about Annika. Then Batman sees Catwoman there and goes after her, but by then Catwoman runs away. But here, Catwoman had another plan. She tried to steal the passport, but she couldn't find the passport. Then she goes to the mayor's house, where she finds the mayor's passport, but she doesn't find his passport there either. But there she finds the girl Annika's passport. When she arrives at her apartment with the passport and meets Batman, we see that Catwoman's apartment is in a complete wreck. And it seemed that someone had made the condition of the house like this by his own will. We then see Batman tell Catwoman that this time we have to fight together, and she agrees to work with Batman. Then in the scene we see Batman give a lens camera to Catwoman, which allows Batman to see everything Catwoman sees. Catwoman then arrives to find her friend Annika on the iceberg, while Catwoman watches as Batman watches. And then Batman says that there are many big and bad people in the city. In this lounge, he thought that maybe they are behind the killing of the mayor. Catwoman then meets a man there, who tells Catwoman all about the place and its people. Then when the man gets out, he sees the killer Riddler in his car. He looks like he's been waiting for him. Then he injures him in the car. In the next scene, we see the people of Gotham City arrive at the mayor's funeral, and then a car crashes through the door, and the man gets out, the man who told Catwoman everything. His body was bombed, and his mouth was covered, and he had a mobile phone in his hand. Seeing this, Batman leaves quickly to put on his costume so that he can handle this situation well and not come in front of people. Then we see someone was talking on the phone that the man was holding, and it was the Riddler's voice, and he was telling Batman that I will give you 3 tasks. If you can complete 3 tasks, then this man will live, and if you answer even one wrong, then this man will die. Then in the scene, Batman answers 2 tasks but fails to answer one, causing the man's bomb to explode and the man to die. The bombardment was so loud that even Batman fainted. When Batman regained consciousness, he was at the police station, and he saw the inspector, and there were many policemen with him. Then we see Batman telling the inspector that we have a lot of bad guys in Gotham City who are in league with the police, and if you need proof, I can provide it. Because when I sent Catwoman to Icebar, I saw those people on her eye lens camera and I have their records. But here Batman is thinking that if he takes any action against the police, then the inspector's life may be in danger. We then see Batman pretending to pick a fight with the inspector before he punches the inspector in the face and leaves. Then when Batman arrives home, he learns that the commissioner has died at the police station. In the next scene, we see that Catwoman finds her best friend Annika's dead body, and is very worried. because she wanted to save her best friend Annika's life. The scene then shifts to Alfred, who was actually the man Batman had been with since the beginning. Alfred receives a parcel that is meant for Batman, but Alfred doesn't seem to like the parcel. He felt that there was something wrong with this parcel, so he threw the parcel away from him and the bomb inside the parcel went off, and Alfred got hurt a lot there. Batman then comes across a DVD from a past in which he learns about his father, who built a big company and built that company for the poor. But Batman here also realizes that his father was not as good as he appeared to people. In fact, Batman's father's intention was that he would do good to people and become the mayor of the city. But just as he is about to do so, a journalist receives news that his wife, means Batman's mother, has a major illness, and the journalist wants to make the news public. But Batman's father didn't want anyone to know about his wife's illness. Then his father orders some people to kill the journalist. When Batman comes to know these things, he goes into depression. In the next scene we see Batman approach a man named Falcone who used to work with his father. There Batman asks him, "Did my father really kill a journalist?" Then the man says, "Yes, it is true, because your father hired me to kill that journalist." And he also says that after that incident, the reporters killed your father and mother. Hearing this, Batman goes into more depression. Batman then goes to his guardian Alfred, where he tells him everything he heard about his father, and Alfred says, "Your father was a very good man. He would never think of killing anyone. Everything you hear is a lie. Your father went to Falcone to say that in order not to tarnish his family background image, he never asked Falcone to kill the journalist." Alfred then repeats that the truth I haven't told you so far is that this Falcone killed your parents, just because he killed the journalist and only your father knows about it the matter, and that's why Falcone killed your parents. Hearing these words, Batman gets very angry. Then he goes straight to the Iceberg Lounge, where he meets Catwoman. And now they both have the same objective, because Catwoman wants to avenge her best friend Annika, and Batman wants to avenge the murder of his parents. But the biggest twist here is Catwoman telling Batman that my mother used to work at this lounge too, and Falcone is my father, but also she tell my father never gave me the identity of his daughter, and now I will not give my father any identity and I will take revenge and kill him. Then we see that there is a huge fight and Catwoman gets a chance to kill her father, but here Inspector and Batman stop Catwoman from killing her father. After that, the Falcone was handed over to the police. We then see Killer Riddler, who has been waiting for Falcone since the beginning, aiming to kill Falcone, and then he kills Falcone. After this incident, Batman learns a lot more about the killer. Here Batman understands that the killer Riddler was a much more minded person, and he doesn't kill anyone for no reason, and he also learns that as a child, Killer Riddler thought I was an orphan, and Batman was an orphan, too, but I have seen all this up close. I know how hard it is to live without parents. It was not so difficult for Batman because his parents left him a lot of property, money. And that's why Riddler feels jealous of Batman, that Batman has never seen any trouble in his life and yet he is so famous. We then see that as Batman is checking on the killer Riddler, he finds that the killer has planted several bombs in several cars. And those cars go next to the water pipeline and get blasted. All the cars start blasting one after the other, and then there is a big flood. The place is filled with water. All the people of Gotham City go to Gotham Garden. This was Riddler's plan. He knew what was going to happen beforehand, so he was having a lot of fun. Just then several of Riddler's men came into the garden with guns, so that they could kill all the people there one by one. We then see Batman and Catwoman come in and start fighting them and stop them. Both of them use their own skills to fight them and steal all their guns, and thus they save Gotham City from a big loss. In the final scene, we see the killer Riddler caught and jailed. And in the cell next to the prison where he was kept was a Joker who started talking to the Riddler. And this movie ends here. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe this channel for more recaps, and also keep supporting. Have a good day.